from the same hearing?
My home moment was when that I learned that they kept a place in the boat to keep fresh water, so they can put the herrings in, so they can catch salmon and fish.
Okay. What's the importance of keeping that herring fresh, Allie?
So when you take children out of the classroom into the community and you give them some interesting experiences, they're really connected to that, and the learning just happens naturally. And in a sense, with younger children, elementary school children, it almost doesn't matter what the focus is. The fact is that they're learning something deeply about this interesting experience that they're having, and then they're learning those skills about how to learn, and then it generalizes into other areas of study. But when you think about reading, writing, and even using numbers and math, those are tools. And they're tools that we as humans use to communicate. And it doesn't just happen out of thin air. So the best way to teach writing is not to say, okay, now I'd like you to sit down and write about such and such. It's to have the experience, talk about it, and then the child sees a need to write about it. So it's a very natural progression. And we know that children learn best with concrete hands-on experiences, and that's what these experiences outside of the classroom, that's what they're giving kids. It's real stuff, and it's the real experts in the community that know about that stuff. And that's how we all learn, no matter how old we are.
Yeah, that's right. It goes from the past to the present day. So the one that I'm working on, it's actually, as I said, the panels are inside.
Did you see this guy down here? Mm-hmm. And this guy hiding here, he's pretty ugly. He's called a wolf eel. And he hides in the rock.
For you people at 8 years old, Sam, you know, when you become either interested in volcanoes or dinosaurs, and like Gary says, he's interested in history, everything is connected. And it comes from a very young age. When you have a passion for a subject, you become an expert in that area.
See how small that ship is? It's only
Is his name Mr. Cook?
No, it's not Cook.
Oh. Captain Vancouver.
He was a Spanish fellow. His name was, no one knows his name. His name was Narvaez. Narvaez. But his boat was only about 10 meters long, about 33 feet. They were going to an area that had never been explored before. Like going to the moon. He was here for 3 years. That was the only time they ever went around, and he had no maps. In fact, why did George Vancouver come here?
Oh, draw maps.
To draw maps. Because the next guy coming in wanted to know where all these rocks were. So.
Oh, this anchor is so heavy. It feels like my back is breaking. Oh, we hit a rock.
The museum, in this case, have been absolutely marvelous, because you've got a class of children and their teacher in your building for an entire week. And it's a little worrying about how those children are going to behave and what's going to happen. And the museum staff act as a facilitator.
And the museum is down here in Gibson.
They contact people in the community, get those resource people lined up, and the resource people who work at the museum, and sort of orchestrate the week along with the teacher.
We are well prepared for a pioneer day. We have Mrs. Hopkins coming to join us.
And the old man is Mr. Hopkins, who founded Hopkins Landing.
Oh, cool.
The little girl with her hand in the mouth? With her hand like this?
No.
Yep, that's me.
What?
I was born in 1927, so put up your hand if you know how old I am.
Nice.
Something that we discovered is that parents become a big part of this equation. We need parents to come as volunteers, because it's the children are often working in groups. So parents are valuable to come in and to work with children. But we found that when you give them a journal and you help them to know what the expectations are to write and to draw, they take off. They are learning too. And they're marvelous role models for those children around them. So the parents that come to the site get a lot out of it. But you know what? At home, when we hear this over and over again, that the parents hear about what's going on every day from their kids, and they get all excited about the site. And pretty soon, once the week is over, the kids are dragging the parents to the site and entire families show up. And this, we found that it has an impact for years to come. It really does affect how that family unit is learning together.
Do a parents' journal. Yeah, do a parents' journal.
Who recognized this?
I know what it is.
Finn, what is it?
So what this concept does is it puts the teacher front and center. They're in the driver's seat. So it's as if the teacher is able to pick up their classroom and put it down in this really interesting place. And then the staff in that place facilitate. They work with the teacher to make this a week that's connected to what the teacher wants to do in their studies at school. It's not a week on its own. It's a week connected to the big plan, a big study that the teacher is doing at school. And teachers know their kids. They have that relationship with those children. The site doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the world's expert in rocketry science, you do not know those children. The teacher does. So even though the teacher may not be the expert, they're the best ones to funnel that information to their students. And because of that, they will do a lot of work before they come for the week. They do a lot of work afterwards. So that week becomes an extended study. And we've discovered over the years that teachers are incredibly creative. Teachers flourish in this kind of atmosphere because teaching is a very isolated, sometimes lonely activity. You don't get a lot of feedback. What this does is it puts you're working in collaboration. The teacher is working with other professionals, and it's truly a team situation. So everybody's giving and everybody's taking, and they're working together. And it's an incredibly valuable professional development experience because you're trying new things, you're risk-taking, and then you're getting people saying, yeah, that really worked well, or this, maybe next time you want to try such and such. It's very positive, and I firmly believe that it changes teachers' practice. My vision is that we take schooling, which is really an industrial model. It's only been around for, 120 years. We change that, and we help children learn in the broader world, in the community. It doesn't matter how good a teacher you are, when you're stuck in those four walls, it's very sterile. So let's open up the community to children. Don't keep them separated the way we keep them now. And I think all places should be built with classrooms integrated into those buildings, that everybody who works at a museum or a city hall or a science center or a factory should have an opportunity to help educate our kids. And that doesn't mean we don't need teachers. Teachers are the professionals, but they can work hand in hand with those experts, and everybody wins. So that's my vision. We change the way we school our children, and that way we won't have the dropouts, we won't have the children that are bored to death. We will have real learning that is happening for everyone.
I'd probably have to like meeting all the new people and all the people that have been through all these things on the Sunshine Coast. And I've never met these people before, and they know so much about it that it makes my brain full. I wish I had something to put all my thoughts into.